What if you woke up tomorrow, looked up at the sky, and the sun was gone, not exploded, not dimmed, just replaced? Maybe by a red giant, a neutron star, a magnetar, or something even more terrifying, a black hole. Every one of these cosmic monsters would transform Earth in completely different ways. Some would destroy the planet instantly, others would slowly freeze it into a silent cosmic grave. So today, we're going to replace the sun with the most extreme objects in the universe, and see what actually happens to Earth. Now let's go in the opposite direction. Instead of a cooler star, what if the sun became something far more powerful? A blue star. Blue stars are among the hottest and brightest stars in the universe. Even the smallest blue stars produce hundreds of times more energy than our sun. Some of the largest produce millions of times more. If one suddenly replaced our sun, the sky would change instantly. Daylight would become a harsh blue-white glare. The entire sky might appear deep blue, or even violet. Looking directly at the star would be extremely dangerous. Your eyes could suffer severe damage in seconds, but the real danger would come from the radiation. Blue stars produce enormous amounts of ultraviolet radiation. Within minutes, people on Earth would experience severe radiation exposure. Sunburns would happen almost instantly. Within hours, temperatures across the planet would start rising dramatically. Within days, the oceans would begin heating rapidly. Massive storms would sweep across the planet as the atmosphere struggled to adapt, but it wouldn't last long. Eventually, the heat would become unbearable. Temperatures could climb into the hundreds of degrees. Rocks would begin to soften, metals would melt, oceans would boil away into space, and life on Earth would disappear completely. Compared to the red giant scenario, this would be slightly slower, but the final result would be the same: a lifeless world burned by an unforgiving star. Now things start getting really strange. Imagine the sun suddenly collapsing into a neutron star. Neutron stars are some of the densest objects in the universe. They form when massive stars explode in supernovas. The core collapses under gravity, compressing matter so tightly that protons and electrons combine into neutrons. The result is a tiny star only about 20 kilometers across, but it still contains roughly the same mass as our sun. So what would happen if our sun suddenly became one? First, 8 minutes after the transformation, the sunlight would vanish. The sky would instantly turn black. Even if it were midday, you would suddenly see stars everywhere, because there would be no sunlight left to light the sky. Earth would still continue orbiting normally. The gravity would be nearly the same, but the warmth from the sun would be gone. Within weeks, temperatures would begin dropping. Within months, the oceans would begin freezing. But freezing wouldn't be the only danger. Many neutron stars rotate extremely fast. Some spin hundreds of times per second. These are called pulsars. They emit powerful beams of radiation across space. If Earth were caught in one of these beams, we would regularly receive bursts of intense radiation. Electronics would fail, satellites would be destroyed, radiation sickness would spread across the planet. Eventually, Earth would become a frozen world, slowly poisoned by cosmic radiation. But neutron stars have an even more terrifying cousin: the Magnetar. Magnetars are neutron stars with the strongest magnetic fields known in the universe. Their magnetic fields are trillions of times stronger than Earth's. To understand how powerful that is, a magnetar could erase the data on every credit card on Earth, from halfway to the moon. So what happens if the sun suddenly becomes one? First, you wouldn't actually see much in the sky. Magnetars emit most of their energy as X-rays and gamma rays, not visible light. So Earth would fall into darkness again. But the radiation environment would be far worse than a normal neutron star. High-energy radiation would bombard Earth constantly. Our satellites would fail almost instantly, power grids could collapse worldwide, communication systems would stop working, but the worst effect would involve Earth's magnetic field. Our planet's magnetosphere protects us from space radiation, but a nearby magnetar could distort or compress that magnetic shield. Without proper protection, Earth's atmosphere could begin eroding into space, radiation levels would skyrocket, auroras would fill the sky in breathtaking displays of color. But those beautiful lights would come with deadly radiation. Life on the surface of Earth would not survive for long. Finally, let's replace the sun with one of the most mysterious objects in the universe, a black hole. Black holes are regions of space where gravity becomes so strong that nothing can escape, not even light. But here's something surprising. If the sun suddenly turned into a black hole with the same mass, Earth would not be sucked in, our orbit would remain almost exactly the same, gravity would still pull us around the center of the solar system, but the sky would look very different. Instead of a bright sun, there would be nothing. Just darkness. The black hole would be incredibly small, only about 6 kilometers wide, too small to see with the naked eye. But if you used a powerful telescope, you might notice something strange. The stars behind the black hole would appear warped and stretched. This is called gravitational lensing. The black hole bends light around it like a cosmic magnifying glass. But beautiful space effects wouldn't save life on Earth. Without sunlight, our planet would begin cooling. At first slowly, then dramatically. Within years, most surface water would freeze. Within thousands of years, the oceans would become solid ice. Eventually, Earth would reach temperatures around -240°C. A completely frozen world, orbiting an invisible cosmic monster. After looking at all these extreme possibilities, one thing becomes clear. Our sun is incredibly special, not too hot, not too cold, not too massive, not too small. It provides exactly the right amount of energy to support life. If it were even slightly different, Earth might have become another frozen wasteland, or a burned-out rock, or maybe it wouldn't exist at all. The truth is, life on Earth depends on a very delicate cosmic balance, and for billions of years, our sun has kept that balance perfectly. But now we want to hear from you. If you could replace the sun with any object in the universe, what would you choose? Tell us in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe to Imagine If Anything for more mind-bending journeys through the universe.